Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 109 of the Everything Moto Racing podcast. Hope you've had a good week or weekend. Unless you're a factory Ducati rider, you might have had a pretty better weekend than most, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I'm joined with Cameron. Hello.
Hello there.
Not joined by Lauren because she is off to Misano this week.
What
she's
is
in Amsterdam,
that
or has been in Amsterdam, and now she's off to Misano.
I can't believe this, just lovely inter-Europe trip that she's on.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm in Amsterdam.
She's in France earlier this year. She's in Spain earlier this year as well. Italy, I think, at one point. Oh, she'll be in Italy this week.
Who is this person? I mean,
yeah.
I need some of this travel budget. What's going on?
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Jeez, oh. But, good news. So, I am on holiday now, which means...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still here currently. I'm going...
Yeah.
Next week. Anyway, which means I'm not working tomorrow.
Nice.
Which means the return of...
Oh, my...
Oh, wait, I can't get it. Oh, hey, we got so
we got it. The return of the whiskey.
We got a return of the whiskey. I have a little Tamnavulin this evening, which, in the absence of anything better to talk about, is a rather sweet Speyside single malt, dark sort of amber color, really rather delicious. So, cheers, everyone. Let's go.
Nice. Yeah, it's been a while since you've consumed beverages that are not...
I've got smashed on the podcast. Yeah. Shame Lauren's missing this, but anyway.
Yeah, that's a shame for Lauren. But yeah, she'll be in the paddock as well.
Really?
She's gotten in, the American racing squad, Josie, who helps run the social media with Matt, has helped her get in there. So that'll be very good for Lauren.
Hell yeah.
Hope she has a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be great. I don't really know where to start. I guess we talk about the major thing that happened Sunday, which was Ducati's demolition derby.
Yeah. Dramatic weekend. I mean...
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I mean, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Let's just first put that out there.
Yeah.
This could have been a really...
Oh, could have been a
dark weekend. Yeah. But anyway, we shan't dwell on that. Pecco, lucky. Unbelievable that he's got no, even half major injury from that. It's
yeah, he's walking.
He's fine. What? Actually, what? If there was ever a sign from a divine creator that this championship is his, then that's it to me. I mean...
at this point, because I was like, oh no, he's broken his leg, this is blowing the championship wide open, but nope. It's almost as if, like you just said, there is nothing that can stop Francesco Bagnaia.
He can literally get run over, and still he's like, nope. So I'm gonna win at Misano. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, mental, and then Enea gets in a pretty. Typical sort of turn one spill, shall we say. I mean, never nice. They can always be pretty nasty, but it was a fairly typical turn one spill, shall we say. And then there he is, out for what, 3 rounds? Yeah,
he's had surgery literally today. He's broken a bone in his wrist, bone in his hand, one of his metacarpals, and he's also broken his ankle, and will miss. He's had surgery today, will miss Misano, India and Japan, and will be replaced by Michele Pirro, which is the boring option, but the sensible option.
Yeah, we know who we wanted on that bike, but
Alvaro Bautista.
Yeah. But I mean, God, it's. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. What is going on? It is literally there is some kind of shall we say, the second factory Ducati seat. It's just cursed, man. It really is.
Yeah, I literally put that in the notes of the podcast. I don't know if you've seen that.
Did you? Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, today, it's 7.6 cursed second Ducati seat.
Maybe
it is cursed. You look at any rider who's had it, if we go back through the things, so we had Dovi and Iannone.
Yep.
Iannone went from being an absolute nutcase, so good on that Pramac. I remember watching Aragon 2014 and stuff when he led the race on the Pramac, and it was whoa, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And then he hops on the factory Ducati. Yeah, he gets the odd few podiums, and he obviously wins the race and stuff, but it's he can't really then
Didn't set the world alight.
Continue that, can't continue that upwards progression. Then you get Jorge Lorenzo, 5-time champion, the guy who's just hopped off a fantastic season 2016. Bastianini and Marc Marquez, obviously that was the same season that he nerfed Marquez to the line at Mugello, for example. And Lorenzo's struggling on it, or Dovi's off winning races. Then they swap it with Petrucci. Petrucci again is having that meteoric rise, and then again just can't do it. And then of course then it's Jack and Pecco. Pecco takes Dovi's seat, number 1 seat, and then Jack takes the second seat of like Petrucci, because it was that was 8 anyway, because Jack replaced Petrucci. Dovi was meant to kind of stay, and then Dovi was like, no, see you later, and then Pecco stepped in and replaced Dovi. Pecco's now going and doing what he's doing. Jack kind of struggled, got a few wins, but struggled, and then obviously replaced by Enea Bastianini, who was 3rd in the standings last year, and obviously you think, well, as we always said on the podcast, he's going to be a 1-2 this year. It's going to be him and Pecco. And the first round, he gets murked and misses loads because he's messed his shoulder up. Comes back, 3 races later, he's out again.
I know. He's actually mental, because like you're saying, everybody... A lot of people thought that, to be honest, Enea was going to probably wipe the floor with Pecco, because the feeling is that he's mentally stronger. But, I mean... It would appear that, at least physically, he's not. I don't know. I do not know. I do not know what the script is with it, but it's it's an interesting case. And to be honest, like Jorge Martin's probably looking at this thinking, actually, do you know what? He's probably still like, it should be my seat, to be honest. But,
he should.
I mean,
but he's safe at Pramac. Like
he is exactly like and I said this last year, like when Enea was announced as that he got the factory seat, I'm thinking I mean, I get there's more to being on the factory Ducati bike than having a factory Ducati bike, because I mean he's got one of them. It's just the whole sort of being in the number 1 squad, and Pramac I guess is like 2nd if you really want to rank them like that. But he's got the factory bike. He's working with the same people, the same team that he has done for this is his 3rd year now. I mean, Jorge should, in my opinion, be counting his blessings, but he does seem to throw his toys out the pram a little bit.
Just a little bit. I'm just trying to find. There's a statement made. Enea made wrote a load of text on Instagram. It's not there anymore.
Oh,
I can't find it though.
Have you been?
I was going to read it out.
Oh, what was the gist? Can you paraphrase? So,
from top of my head, he said that like, these times keep coming in motorcycle racing, and it gets tougher and tougher, and it's harder to keep going, and you do think about quitting, and you do think about stopping when, you can't seem to get the luck. You can't, like, it all seems down in the dumps, which a lot of riders have publicly said. Maverick Vinales said it, Mir said it, Marc Marquez has said it a few times. Jorge Martin's also talked about it, all talked about like quitting and things like that when it's bad. Yeah. It's quite easy to do, quit when it's bad, but you've got to stay. And they basically just said that he knows that the good times will come and that he's going to keep fighting and keep pushing for it. But it's just difficult in these moments to kind of have the motivation and stuff to stay and keep fighting.
Yeah, I think sadly, for Enea, the good times are going to come on a Pramac seat. I think.
Where there's less pressure and stuff, or where it's just like a cursed seat.
That it's the sum of its parts. To be honest, it really is like less pressure. Still, obviously, a good bike. It's all things combined, and I think Ducati's history of how they like to play musical chairs. I think. Yeah. To be honest, we might see someone else on that seat next year.
No, it's been confirmed that he'll stay.
They do like to confirm things and then...
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see, but like, he's going to have to... I think he will stay. He's going to have... Yeah. I think because things are clearly so good with Pecco, they're like less desperate to scramble to find like a wondrous talent, which they clearly have with Pecco. So they're like, that's fine. We can try and we can give this second seat a little bit more time because we're not struggling for wins right now. So
yeah,
I mean, you're probably right, but he's gonna have to be, he's gonna have, like, next year, he's gonna have to be 1-2ing. Like, he's gonna have to have the season we expected this year, next year.
Yeah,
if he doesn't, then he's out. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't, unfortunately, Ducati are brutal. It doesn't matter who you are, how good you have been in the past.
Yeah.
Ducati want results and they want them now, not next year or the year after. And if they've got a capable rider on one of their bikes in Marco Bezzecchi, for example, who's already Italian, already wears the Monster Energy logos on his helmet, which fits perfect. With Jorge Martin, yeah, he could switch from Red Bull to Monster, but there is still a bit of like an issue there, and if he's locked into a contract with Red Bull for 3 more years, you've got to buy him out of that contract and things like that.
It's just more friction, isn't it?
Yeah, whereas Bezzecchi, if Bezzecchi is performing and continues to perform, then he's an easy slot in. He's Italian as well, which helps.
Yeah.
Ducati have in the past favoured Italians over Spaniards for Italians over everybody for many years because they're an Italian company. Of course, they want an Italian on their bike. Also Italians. So, yeah, I think Bezzecchi is kind of the one for 2025 that Ane will be like fighting against, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Or, potentially like an Acosta or something, although he's going to be having... He's going to have an airtight contract with KTM for a while, I think. When he moves up. He's
got clauses to go out of it and like leave it now. Like he can... Pedro can walk out that contract now because they can't fulfill the deal. Like it's now... I'm almost certain it's fully off. KTM will not have 5 bikes on that grid next year. That is done, dusted, drawing in the sand now. So unless he chooses to stay in Moto2, which is unlikely because Vietti is rumoured to have signed for that squad, and Dennis Onchu had also rode the bike today at Catalunya as part of the Pirelli test, meaning that that's pretty certain that's going to be the lineup.
Yeah.
Meaning Acosta's out of that Moto2 squad. Yep. The only way now I can see him in, as in Acosta in, is if Jack Miller gets the boot, because he's not performing as expected at all.
I know, yeah.
And that's the only way in I can see.
And you got to think as well, the way that Jack has performed the last couple of weekends, you got to think maybe he does know something.
Yeah.
He's had some news which has affected him.
Just thrown him off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would really suck, because to be honest, I think he's been pivotal in that KTM being a top 5 bike consistently now.
Yeah.
And then don't get me wrong though, I think because what's the deal, like they would be allowed to have like a test rider with more wild cards or something. Is that kind of what's floated around for KTM?
That's for like concessions in general. They can have 5 wild cards anyway. We've got Danny Pedrosa this weekend, by the way. At Mazzano.
Dream.
So I think it's 3 wild cards if you're not, concessions of 5 if you have. But I think it has been changed to 5 wild cards anyway. We can't have them back to back.
Right. Interesting.
But yeah, so no, I think it is actually 3 wild cards. Let's have a look. I'll just check quickly.
No worries. And then I also heard about them doing a kind of almost like a football style, like out on loan kind of deal.
Yeah. So to go back on the thing quickly, every factory grid can have 3 wild cards during a season. 6 if you have concessions. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so KTM could loan out a rider, for example, like Augusto Fernandez, but what's the point? Because Augusto Fernandez is contracted to KTM next year. Augusto Fernandez is doing a phenomenal job, man. He was 9th yesterday. And like that battle with Didier as well. Like both of them were slinging at each other. And it was, I think Augusto was actually the winner out of that. Yeah, 9th and was Didier 10th. There you go. Augusto did not care. Let's have a gander quick.
Yeah, that was great. See, from 6th to 10th in the race yesterday.
It was unreal. Great, there's a difference. It was beating fair and square about half a second by the end of it.
Oh, right, okay, he had him. Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, you could learn Augusto Fernandez, but why would you want to? He's a Moto2 world champion last year. He's doing extremely well. He's 13th in the championship at the moment.
He's doing bits. Yep.
He's doing bits. Like, that is well and truly. He's finished every race this year, as has Franco Morbidelli. He is like, what more could you want from a rookie? He's got a best result of P4. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 top 10s.
I mean, compare that to the rookies before him in the last 3 or 4 years. Come on.
But then you look to the factory squad. You don't want to get rid of Brad Binder. They've kept him on for a few more years. Jack Miller, Paul Espargaro is pivotal, I think, to their development and things like that. And maybe they could keep him as a test rider or something like that. But I think Paul in himself has come back and actually impressed. He did DNF in Catalunya.
It was mechanical. Though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was mechanical. So did Ralph Fernandez, which I was gutted for, actually, because Ralph Fernandez looked really good yesterday.
Yeah,
again,
he was in that top 10
he
scrap, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. So Paul Espargaro, again, has really impressed. You know, he got 6th in Austria in the sprint race. And Paul Espargaro helped the bike be what it is. He was a day oneer at KTM.
Yep.
So you don't want to get rid of Paul, because if there's anybody who knows, there's only one person that really knows more than Paul about that bike. That's Mika Kallio.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't want to really get rid of Paul. So then it's just, who was last in the door? It was Jack Miller.
It was, yeah. And that's such cruel politics, but it's the only sort of objectively fair way of looking at it, to be honest. And I don't know, like, would they take him on as a test rider? Because he'd be a brilliant test rider, but he's got too much.
He's too young. He doesn't want to do that. He could step off that KTM, go, right, have it, take it, Pedro, and he could go and ride for Gresini Ducati and do pretty well for himself over there still.
I'm sure he could, yeah.
There's still a lot of seats available. That Pramac seat that everybody says is going for Franco Morbidelli is not signed.
No.
Jack Miller has said previously he'd be happy to return to Pramac. So that, again, it's still open for discussion. It just depends on KTM, really, and like if they're looking at signing 2 riders in Moto2, it means that Acosta's out of that Moto2 squad, which can only mean he's going to move into MotoGP.
Yeah.
As we know, it's common knowledge that Acosta's contract said that on the 31st of June, after then, if KTM haven't put him on a seat, he can talk with other manufacturers. His contract was also earmarked for a 2024 MotoGP seat. If KTM cannot stick to that, there's a clause in his contract that that voids the contract.
Yeah,
straight
exactly.
up.
Yeah,
because they can't adhere to the contract. Therefore, Pedro can ride for whoever the hell he wants.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I love this, but I also hate it. And the thing is, like, the final sort of what ends up happening is like never as exciting as you want it to be.
It's so boring, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like the last mental exciting thing that happened was Vinales like shock leaving Yamaha and joining Aprilia. That was the last time people were like, "This is wild!" Like, what a transfer window. But you know, you would have this talk every year of silly season, and it's never silly. What happens is never silly, and you're always like, it's like a perfect
silly,
sense. You know what?
Silly, and then turns into logical season.
Yeah, exactly. Like one by one, they get slotted in. You're like, that makes sense. You know what? That makes sense. There's maybe like 1 or 2 where you're like, I didn't see that coming. Like, for example, if Morbidelli does end up on that Pramac seat, I'll be like, you know what? I didn't have that pegged at the start of the year. That to me would be silly, considering form and everything, yada yada. It's a really coveted seat, a Pramac Ducati, I would say.
Oh yeah, it's a factory seat, really.
Yeah, exactly. Like, going back to the KTM talk, if I were the boss of Pramac, I'd be more inclined to get Jack back in line rather than take a punt on Morbidelli, but or even Marc Marquez. But yeah. I don't know. It's never as silly as it seems, but I just love this like period of time where like anything, it's Schrodinger's grid, you know?
Oh yeah,
it's wild. I love it.
It could be anyone, really. Whilst talking on silly season, I will speak of some other rumours I've got. Moto2, Moto3, which is always a bit chaotic. Moto2, I'm just trying to think. Obviously, Jake and Arbolino confirmed that they were staying where they're put, but Jake Dixon's contract does have a clause that says if a MotoGP team offers him a seat, he can exit his contract to go there. And the rumours of him going to Gresini have been bubbling all weekend still.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility. Obviously,
This
the
weekend will have
IO
helped.
thing. Yes, it will. I'm not sure if his comments post-race will have helped, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
But so there's that. I'm just trying to think now. Obviously, Joe Roberts has confirmed to return to American racing.
Yeah, that's cool. Like that. Nice.
Yeah.
An American on an American racing team. Good.
Yeah. Moto3 is where it gets a bit crazy. I've known this a little while, but now I can actually talk about it because multiple people have said it. Joel Kelso will not race for CF Moto next year.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to say a reason why, but he will not race for next year. So there was a Pirelli test this week today.
Yes.
And Dennis Onshu obviously raced or tested for IO Moto2. So, of course, there was a rider that had to ride for IO Moto3 in his place.
Oh.
That would be Spanish superstar Xabi Zuratuza, who's won 2 races in Junior GP this year and has actually been very good. We mentioned him on the podcast a few times now, and he's got a sick name for one. Very talented rider. I have been reliably informed that, of course, take all this with a pinch of salt, because, yes, I've been reliably informed, but contracts can change, as we saw Jonathan Rea today, who signed a contract for next year with Kawasaki and has voided that contract and will race for Yamaha next year. We'll talk about that properly in a bit.
Yes, please.
But Xabi Zuratuza has apparently signed a contract with IO today to race for them next year in the World Championship.
Nice.
So, additionally, I'm just going through the messages now. Xabi was set to go to CF Moto, apparently.
Oh,
and
right, okay.
David Munoz to IO.
Oh.
But there was ties with the Jose Bowes team, obviously, because Munoz rides for Bowes' squad, which blocked the move to IO and opened the doors for Zuratuza to go to IO instead.
Yes.
Xavi Artigas has also been rumoured to be going to the MSI squad.
Okay.
In Moto3.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find some other ones. Let's have a look. I don't know if there's any more, actually.
So, do you know or did you mention where Kelso's going?
He hasn't got a seat anywhere.
Oh, that's sad. I mean, come on. This weekend was surely proof that he deserves to be on the grid.
No, I don't know, because he started 3rd and finished 19th.
What happened? Actually, yeah, what happened there? But, like, come on. Surely to even just qualify 3rd, there's got to be something there.
Well, yeah, because he's been on the front row 4 times this year now.
Yeah.
He's kind of got it, but he can't do it in the race. It seems like he even said on his Instagram post, he was like, there's no point sugarcoating it, I'm disappointed. I know I've got to get aggressive and risk more overtakes. We'll give it another crack in Italy. But
he deserves a seat more so than some people on that grid.
Yes, I think like David Munoz's teammate, for example, and a few other back markers. Because I think we could see a few riders out at the end of this year. Was it David Almanza was confirmed at Snipers for next year?
Oh, yeah.
He also tested the Pirelli test today.
Speaking of, Finati's been disappointing, hasn't he?
That's probably Finati out with that move, because I think he's a bit age out the class anyway. He has not done anywhere near what we expected, to be honest.
Nope.
Which is a big shame. Just think Moreira's, obviously I've mentioned him and Italtrans a few times. That could change to the MSI squad in Moto2, we'll see. As for the rest of them, there's not really much movement, I don't think. Oh, Stefano Nepa was confirmed to stay at the MTA squad. Ivan Altola is also rumored to go to the MSI squad as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I don't know who Leopard are looking to replace Masia with.
Oh yeah, because Messi's moving up.
That's going to be a weird one, actually. Who the hell could go to Leopard? Oh, no, it's Piqueras. Angel Piqueras, that's right. The Red Bull Rookies champ.
Yes, yep.
Yes.
What about Suzuki? Is he clinging on to a ride?
He is, but he's quite old now.
Hmm.
Like, how old is he now? He's 25 now. He'll be 26 at the end of this month. So by the end of next year, he'll be 27.
So he's got
like
years.
2, maybe 3 years left in the class.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you think he'll just ride that Leopard until
maybe
he ages out and go to stock 600?
You get a few wins and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Sasaki, I can expect him to move to Moto2 next year.
Oh, really?
With the intact GP squad.
Oh, sure, that
Apparently
makes
both
sense, yeah.
Tulovic and Debinder are out.
Debinder.
I would assume that Sasaki would move up to that class next year in that team and be teammates with Senna Aegis. That was what I would assume would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, let's have a just quick check on Moto2's roster, just see if anything... Oh yeah, Canet was confirmed at the Fantic squad.
Cool.
Teammate is rumoured to be Sergio Garcia. No, but Sergio Garcia is also rumoured to go to the new MSI team as MSI team. MSI. It's the same team as Moreira rides for now.
Yeah.
The empty helmets MSI squad, which would make sense. He wears them empty helmets now anyway, so that makes sense. But Agora is also rumoured to go to that team as well, so I don't really know what's going to go on there. Obviously, Vietti is rumoured to IO, Roberts ART, Baltus. I've not heard anything about Aldiger, nothing. Just going through. No, I've not heard anything about the rest of the guys this time. No. But yeah. But the Pirelli test was today. Saunders and Kelly got to ride at the forward Moto2 bike.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is good because obviously he announced he was sacked by the team. Unfortunately. But
oh dear.
I've spoken to a few riders who have ridden in that Pirelli test today.
Yep.
And they said that the Pirellis are a massive step up from the Dunlops. Apparently they last a lot longer. Like the Moto3 riders could do like 20 to 25 laps with no drop off on them. Sheesh. Which is really good, which means we could probably see some more really good racing next year in Moto3.
Yeah, that bodes
well. Apparently the profile's a little bit bigger, which takes a bit of you getting used to.
Okay, right. Yeah.
But yeah, so
I mean, generally Pirellis are a little bit squishier with a bit more feel, right? They've got a bit more.
Yeah, like
I don't know. Any comments on that?
Well, Manuel Gonzalez, when he switched to Moto2 and did a few races for Forward a couple of years ago, whilst he was still competing in World Supersport on the Pirellis and then switched to Dunlops, he said that the Dunlops were like impossible because they got a very small operating window. They don't last very long, and so you have to really kind of ride to their strengths, and that was very difficult for him to do, especially when he went back to Supersport and did the Pirellis again. And he, for the whole time, has banged on about how good Pirellis are and how much better they are and things like that. And so I can imagine he will be very happy and welcome to this change.
Yep.
I think the Pirellis will have a lot more feel and will be able to go the distance a lot better than the Dunlops has, which will mean there'll be better racing next year because they won't have to think as much about tyre conservation.
Yeah. Any word from like Skinner, who's obviously just come off of a Superbike last year?
No, nothing on Skinner, to be honest. It was interesting as well because Batayan Sofoglu tested today for the Forward squad, and he rides for MV Augusta in World Supersport. That was very interesting because Sofoglu is a big talent. The fact that this is his first full year in the Supersport, because last year he did the Supersport Cup, the European one, and won that championship and was finishing 5th against all the full-time riders, was incredible. Now he's won races in the World Supersport. Could see a Moto2 switch potentially next year.
That'd be cool.
I'm only judging that from obviously the test today, but you know, they seem to be eyeing him up, so that could be interesting.
Yep.
Obviously,
for sure.
That's just speculation. But yeah, so those are the rumours I've got for you to this week.
Oh, colour me excited. That was yeah, love a rumour. Wait,
I've got a few more.
On?
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Nice. Got a few more. Obviously, Rare firstly has switched to Yamaha.
Yes,
that's big.
That's not a rumour. that is happening.
No, that's finally confirmed. It has been a rumour for about a month now.
Yeah.
So I'm very glad that's finally confirmed. That means that, of course, there is a seat available at the Kawasaki squad. Adrian Huertas, the Moto2 Supersport rider, Kawasaki Supersport rider, tested the bike last week in Aragon and was 0.6 off Rinaldi's time in first place in his first ride of a superbike.
Ooh,
which is very impressive.
Well.
It does. Somebody I know who speaks to Huertas quite a lot said that Huertas is 90% there to sign, but could also go and ride a Ducati V2 in Supersport next year. So we'll see about that. There are a few names on that list. What route do you want to take? Yeah, what route indeed. There are a few people I'd like to see, like Bastianini maybe, or Rinaldi on it. There's been little mutterings, but nothing too concrete about Fabio Digia.
Really?
Racing for Kawasaki next year. But there's also been rumours of Fabio Digia going to Fantic Moto2 next year as well.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I think just get Sam Lowes on the Kawasaki, and you just got Sam and Alex racing each other.
He's on the Ducati, though, isn't he?
I know, but like, come on, just for in terms of like a fun story, let's
it'd be great.
Get him on the Kawasaki. Yeah,
it'd be fun. Hold on, I'm just reading something about Jack Miller.
Oh,
so this is big. If it's true,
I mean, I wish we recorded the video for this because that was a shock face right there. Okay, so please indulge me in the audience.
Okay, so TodoCircuito.com have said from the Italian media, KTM have. This is obviously what the Italian media have reported. KTM have offered. Let's have a look. KTM have offered Jack Miller double salary next year, and up to 10 wild cards if he leaves his bike free for Pedro Acosta.
Gee. I mean,
but what happens with the 3 wild cards I just mentioned earlier today?
Is this an agreement from Dorna? A sort of just
true.
A negotiation, being like, well, if you're not going to give us 5 bikes, give us something. God, but what do you do if you're Jack? I mean, obviously, if a double KTM salary, he's going to buy that boat. But I mean, ultimately,
buy 10 boats.
Like none of these guys, like that are, especially ones who have been in the factory Ducati squad, need money. That's not going to be a motivator anymore. I would say, unless you're like Zarco and you're coming to the end, or what you feel is probably the end of your career, and you just need to make that balance as fast as possible. Interesting. I feel like Jack. Where did I get Zach from? Jack has more like integrity than to almost be bought like that, but then also, I don't know, money is important. I don't know, and then also, like 10 wild cards is like half the season, to be fair.
Yeah, it is. Which is good.
I don't know, if I could get double the pay for half the work, I'd be tempted.
Yeah, I would be as well. This is an interesting one. I've got another little thing for you that I noticed earlier. So I was looking for some images for Enea Bastianini, sorry, to post about his the fact that I missed some races and had his surgery. So I went onto Ducati's media little area, Ducati Media House, where they house all their images and stuff that you can use. Yeah. Went on there, and obviously they got their photos. I thought like something had broken because they got all their photos from the race weekend just gone. But at the top, there are 6 photos of Nicola Balega. 2 of them where he's holding a number 1 plaque, 2 of them on the podium, and someone is riding around track. Right. Are we going to see an announcement, maybe tomorrow, of Balega's future? he is heavily rumoured to go to that Renault Aruba IT squad. He's tested their bike multiple times. He is their test rider. Yeah, I think he's currently in the World Supersport Championship as well.
It'd be sad for Bastianini. I feel like he was in line for that.
Yeah, he deserves that seat. Yeah. He really does. But World Supersport, let's have a look. Yeah, Balega's leading by 46 points. That's ironic because he was a VR46 rider. But yeah, he's leading by 46 points.
Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna be straight up and say I don't really follow the Supersport. I just kind of know that Niccolo was doing very well. But yeah, like from what I've seen of World Superbike races, I feel like Bassani deserves a crack at the factory squad.
Yeah.
But then alternatively, he's doing pretty well in the squad he's in. It could be like a sort of Pramac situation, but I don't know. It's interesting. I'm also interested to see how Iannone gets on. Yeah,
because Paolo Ciabatti confirmed that Iannone will have a spot with Ducati on the grid next year.
That's going to be spicy.
Motocorsa Ducati have said they're having 2 seats next year, which is a team that Bassani rides for.
Okay.
So potentially we'll see them together.
That would be
competitive
fiery.
Bike after all.
Oh yeah. I'd like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice. That's a beautiful bike as well.
Gorgeous. I love it. Yeah. Colour scheme was ace.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll have to see, I think, is the best thing you can see about it all.
That's it. Well, I mean, there's nothing else for it, mate, is there?
No. But yeah. So we'll go on to the actual races itself.
Yes.
After silly season. Moto3. We'll start with Moto3. It's always a good one.
Yep. Exciting.
Always the best race of the season, and that was chaotic down to the final corner.
Oh, I was losing it. Oh my god! And then Onchu does Onchu things.
Well, it's a weird one because it's like some people are like, oh, it's a racing incident. Some people are like, oh, it's Onchu's fault. Some people are like, oh, it's Munoz's fault. But it's like, I don't really know myself, but it's like it's 2 of the most aggressive riders in the entire grid against each other.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I'm pretty sure I messaged it into our little group chat, like, Munoz just getting some Munoz medicine, It's just, that's just it. Like, if there was anywhere that a rider was going to be, it was where Onchu was. Last corner, he was not giving up any momentum to avoid collecting someone who went wide. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't matter if it was Onchu or Sasaki or Mastia, anyone. Like even the most, if it was Kelso, who's kind of said he's not aggressive enough. If he was in that spot, he also would have punted Munoz off, I believe. It was like if he'd rolled off or done anything to like try and avoid Munoz, then he'd have finished 7th.
Yeah,
you know
what
I mean?
Yeah.
Like so. He did what he had to do. What happened in the end? He got demoted a position, did he?
He got demoted from 3rd to 12th.
Oh, I didn't actually know that. Well, he still had to do what he had to do, in my opinion. 3rd to 12th. God, was that like a 3-second sort of window or what? Like,
yeah, I think it was a 3-second penalty. Yeah, demoted him to 12th.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
makes sense. But in the heat of the moment, like you would have just kept it pinned and been like, "Well, that's just it. That's just what would have happened." In my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it was crazy, but it promoted Mr. Jose Antonio Rueda to his first Moto3 podium.
Yep.
Which
good showing.
I'm happy about because, as we know, he's an absolute beast.
Yes.
And he's a very impressive rider, and like is for next year especially. I think we'll see him kind of follow the same steps as Holgado did, where he hopped on I think he'll stay with IU and fight for the championship next year.
Yeah,
I think he's great. He's really good.
He is, and like he's not been far off in pretty much every race. Like since Portimao, he's pretty much been there. I think he's just got to kind of learn the class a little bit.
He's just doing what a rookie should do. Really, he's having an average. Decent. He's 8th in the championship rookie season. Yeah. Like he's got apart from Assen and Catalunya. No, wait, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at Blumen Moreira there. He's had, apart from Argentina, Mugello, and Sachsenring and Austria, he's been in the top 10 every race.
Yeah, like...
Which is really good for a rookie. Like, not everyone's Pedro Costa, you know?
No, exactly. That's it. And the thing with Pedro is, obviously, you got to be up there to win it. But, like, I think winning Moto3 races is, if you're good enough to come fifth, you're good enough to come first.
Yeah.
At the moment,
oh, yeah.
like, it's really just almost like a last lap bit of luck. If someone gets punted wide, or you just happen to have the right track position, then you'll win. As long as you're fast enough to be in that top, you know, let's say 5 riders, then you're so within a shout of winning.
Yeah,
and
I think, like,
yeah, the cards just sort of fell Acosta's way quite a lot last year. Obviously, or not last year, the year before. Obviously, winning from last at Losail and like your second ever GP or whatever,
which is nuts.
Pretty nothing taken away from that, obviously. But yeah, like Rueda will quickly find himself in that like top 5 consistently, and therefore
he's just got to be there. Yeah,
will likely, you know, win a bunch of races just because he's in that group and
got to be in that group. And then just the last part is if you're in that group, you got a chance at winning.
Yeah.
Well, the last part is just a bit of racecraft.
Yeah,
which just comes with learning, which just comes with riding with other riders and taking that extra risk on the last corner, for example. And
yeah,
you know, it pays off sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. And that's just how it goes in Moto3. And David Alonso is a great example of that. Again, another superb. I was going to say stupidly good rookie, and superb. I said superb, nice. But it's funny, he went last to first in Great Britain, then first to last in Austria, and now he's back in first.
Of course.
And yeah, he is 6th in the standings now. I'm not going to say he's in with the championship fight, with the championship shout, sorry, but he is within 50 points of that P1 of Daniel Gardo, who has absolutely blown the door off his championship cart. He was looking, he had like a 40-point advantage nearly by the end of it. Crashed, finished 22nd. He's now only 13 points ahead of Ayumu Sasaki, his podium streak has ended. He finished 4th in Catalunya after going 6 podiums in a row.
Wow.
Ayumu Sasaki's only 13 back. Then a further 19, is that? 148 minus 129, I think is 19. Back is Jaume Masia.
Yep.
Sasaki really could now take it to him. We've got 9 rounds left,
and we're heading, you know, we're heading east as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Sasaki will be doing well.
Yeah, because Alonso's obviously he's a very talented rider, but he knows a lot of the tracks we've been at.
Yeah.
So he's been able to perform there, but he's never ridden in Japan, never ridden Indonesia.
India's going to be interesting.
That would be very interesting, yeah. Like, I'm very intrigued because Dan, also fun little fact as well before we talk about India, Dan Vidal Alonso made his debut as a wildcard in 2021 at Misano at 15 years old and was one of the youngest ever riders to ever race in the class. Got a dispensation because he was a rookies champ.
Right.
But yeah, so India will be a very interesting one. Because it's new for everybody.
It is. And I think like it's going to be interesting for the predictions game, but yeah. I'm going to have to study the track layout.
Yeah, because that's going to be a fun one. But yeah, Moto3 is looking good. I'm not really sure what the hell's happened to Diego Moreira. Yeah, had 2 podiums and he's just disappeared. It's a strange one. Honestly, strange. But yeah, the top 6 of the championship now, I think, are really going to go for it, and that includes Onshu, Ortola, and Alonso as well. Because Onshu's only 1 point behind Masia.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Obviously, he would be a lot further ahead. Sorry, because he scored 4 points after finishing 12th, but he would have scored 16 in 3rd. I mean, add 12 points to his 128, would have put him 140, which put him right slap bang only 9 points behind Sasaki.
Yeah, which is, and he'd really be in for a shot. And I think Onshu like, I mean, Unch is great, and he doesn't seem to be crashing or anything, you know, and it seems to be working most places.
Yeah.
And I feel like Sasaki's fading a little. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling. I just am. So I feel like to me personally, Onchu's got a little bit more of a shout than Sasaki. But like I just said, you know, we are heading east over the coming months, so we'll see. Watch me eat my words, but
yeah,
I'm really chuffed. We're only halfway through the season.
Yeah, I'm so glad we've got a lot more to go. It's been good so far. The championship fights in all three classes. I'm excited for it. It doesn't seem like, apart from maybe MotoGP where Pecco's kind of still 50 points ahead, I think there's no real runaway. As we switch to Moto2.
Yeah.
Even in Moto2, there's no real runaway because like it looked like it was going to be Arbolino, but then he's kind of 17th in Catalunya.
Yeah.
The gap is now 22 points, I think. 186 minus 164. There's 22 points, yeah, between the two.
Between Acosta and Arbolino.
Yeah, so that gap from Acosta, because Arbolino had a full race, full 25 points in hand at one point after Acosta crashed in France. And Arbolino won the race, but then since then he's not been able to keep up like consistency whatsoever.
No.
A rider who has been a lot more consistent and has kind of broken away from Aaron Canet in fourth in the championship is, of course, Jake Dixon, with 5 podiums to his name, including 2 victories this year. He's closing up, especially after Arbolino was 17th and Acosta was 6th on Sunday. Of course, Acosta was punted off track by Alonso Lopez.
Yeah.
Which did damage his race. I'll find it quick. There was a funny... Someone posted a comment on Alonso Lopez's post, and Pedro Acosta liked the comment. Someone commented saying, he needs to learn how to do a race without doing abnormal things. But when? And Pedro Acosta liked that one, so that was funny. Bit of needle there. But yeah.
Yeah, it's... I mean, it was bad that we came back on track as well.
Yeah, it was. It was a bit dodgy.
Yeah, like he could have really caused a nasty accident there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I didn't expect Acosta to fade like he did, though.
No, it was weird. Like maybe the tires dropped off or something. It was a weird one, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I don't know. It was a strange one. Aaron Canet with what is that? His 13th Moto2 podium now.
Something like that, or second place. Yeah, which is
I'll go through and count them now. Right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 second places.
9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. 12 second places. That has gotta hurt, because he even tried the Valentino Rossi move at the last corner.
He did.
And bailed out at the last second.
Couldn't do it, yeah.
Like, what does he have to do to win? Even snapped his bow tie and everything, and still nothing.
And the thing is, like, he's so close, and you have to think, if there was somewhere he was gonna do it this season, it would have been here.
Yeah. He just, like, it was when, on the last few corners, Jake made a mistake coming out of top of turn 9, I think. It was turn 9, I'm pretty sure.
Before the, what used to be the hairpin.
Wait, no, it's turn 12. Sorry, there you go, yeah. So he made a mistake going from 11 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, Canet's going to have him here, because Canet getting so much time. And I was like, if he's gonna go for the last corner now. He's got the momentum now. But then Canet had his own error.
Yep.
Which kind of just threw it all away and equalised it again. I think if he hadn't have had that error, I think he really could have gone for that last corner send, but... He didn't, and Jake Dixon was obviously able to take his second victory of the class, which was great for Jake, good for a potential MotoGP seat.
Absolutely.
Not too sure about his interview afterwards, though.
No, I gotta say it lacked class. That's just my opinion.
Interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like a Facebook comment.
You did a little bit, but I don't know, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's just banter or British banter, but I'm like, I'm British, and
yeah, I don't know. But then, I was saying last week about how, folk like Pecco and that are boring. See, if the whole grid was like Jake Dixon and just, talking a bit of smack, to be honest, and interviews here and there, the whole thing would be a lot more exciting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's just, it's all relative, isn't it? And maybe we do need a bit more of a personality like that. I just like, it just kind of doesn't align with me.
No,
like
it's
that
like
kind of, like I say, like talking smack, that doesn't align with the sort of outward persona that I get from Jake Dixon. So I'm kind of like, wait, who is this guy? What's happening here? Is he an arsehole? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
But then everyone says that Jake's lovely, and I'm sure he is. So
there's a few riders in the paddock that don't really.
Well, I haven't heard these things. The only guy I have to listen to about this is Neil Hodgson, and he thinks that the sun shines out of his arse.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, I don't know. I think that's it. It was just a sort of contradiction. It's just like when he said it, I was kind of like, oh, Jake? Goodness me. But, I mean, I could imagine, I'm trying to think of a personality who's a little bit more...
Valentino Rossi?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're thinking
like
down the line, like...
Yeah, no, just like someone who is a bit more like...
Cal Crutchlow.
Not even that. I don't know. Who's just got a little bit more bite to them, or is a bit more like cheeky. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just that, to me, like Jake Dixon's just been this sort of like nice, polite kind of schoolboy figure, and then he comes out just sort of chatting shit in a way, and I'm like,
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It just seems like
it felt weird, and that's all. That's all I got to go by. It felt weird coming from him, and I was uncomfortable. Yeah, exactly.
It's like fake arrogance a little bit. It's like he's overcompensating. I was like, oh, finally I've done it, so I can now talk about this stuff, But to me, it was weird. Like I like it. It's fighting talk. We like fighting talk.
We do like fighting talk. Yeah.
We need I want him to try and get into his opponent's heads, Pedro Costa's head, and stuff like that, and try and really put the needle in there, like Valentino Rossi used to do to all his rivals and things like that. And I like that, but I don't know. It's just a bit.
I think. Do you know what it was? It wasn't like clever enough.
Yeah, it wasn't witty enough.
It lacked wit. That's exactly it. Thank you, Deg.
Which we say with people are like, oh, it's banter and da da da. But banter often has a side of wit to it that makes it banter, which makes it funny, which makes it good. Like how Crutchlow was good at that, but I don't know, it just sounded a bit odd because
especially
that.
Sorry, no, carry on. Yeah.
He said about Pedro Costa, he was like, oh, this guy's meant to be the next Marc Marquez, but I got the better of him today. But it's like Pedro Costa was punted off track for one, and you say, oh, he's meant to be the best Marquez, but I beat him. And I guess that's an achievement in itself, of course, but
you don't.
I don't know. This man is 27 years old and has a child. He's someone's dad. And he's talking about a 20 or a 19-year-old. I think Pedro is either 19 or 20. Yeah, 19-year-old kid. He's talking smack about a 19-year-old kid who has won a Moto2 World Championship in his first try. First guy since 1990 to do it. And in 1.5 seasons has won himself, I think it's 7 Moto2 races. Dixon in 5 seasons, who came into the class at 22. So he's already 3 years older than Pedro Costa is currently then. Came into the class at 22 and has won 2 races in 5 seasons. Or 4.5 seasons. And it's you haven't, in my opinion, my personal opinion, he hasn't achieved enough in racing to start pulling Pedro Costa down like that when he's still 40 odd points behind him in the championship. And Pedro has one bad race because he got punted off track and still got the fastest lap of the race. Yeah,
I think you're saying it's like British banter. It didn't. It lacked the wit and the kind of dry sort of
dry humor.
The dry subtle intelligence of British wit. It had none of that. And so that I think we've got to it. We've got to the root of why it wasn't great.
Yeah, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that he's stirring the pot a little bit and getting things up, because like we say his riders are like Pecco. I like Pecco, but he's just a bit like plain. He's like, I don't know, if you cook your chicken, you don't put any seasoning on it, like it's just like that, I guess. I don't really know, but like I like some paprika on my chicken. I like some garlic, you need that like but like you go through the like you go through the MotoGP Reddit and someone like this photo of Jake Dixon, someone's like, I don't know why I've never been unhappier about someone winning a GP and stuff, and like someone's like, oh, he acts arrogant like Lorenzo, needs to eat some humble pie and stuff like that, and it's like, it makes me feel a bit better. It's not just me. People say it's like cringeworthy and all that, and I get that.
Yeah, like Reddit's always going to have the most judgmental of takes, shall we say.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like, it almost had like the kind of, like you say, arrogance of, sorry, I just burped here, that's a bit of whiskey. It almost had the kind of air of arrogance of Lorenzo, but without the multiple world championships and race wins by several seconds to back it up. I don't know.
Yeah, there was like 2 comments here on Reddit. This is the last thing we'll say about Jake, and then we'll move on.
Yes.
Because I do want to see him success, and like I said, I do like this. I like this. We just need like I don't know, but someone said this is like Cal Crutcher from Wish. Someone else said, and this is what I like. This is what I like. I think this is like nail on head, I think. But someone's like, firstly, someone said to be humble, which I get. But someone said it's like he's taken all his PR training from Cal Crutcher, but not picked up on that kind of cheeky thing Cal had, where he could never quite tell how sincere he was being.
That's it. That's exactly
That's nail on head.
That dry, like, sarcasm thing that Cal had, where you just kind of like, it just kind of gave you a bit of a giggle. And, you could tell the PR guy behind the scenes was just kind of rolled their eyes a bit, but... Yeah, no, I don't know. I think that's it. Like, it was a good. We like to see it, and I would like to see Jake win more races and talk more smack, but just in a little bit more of a kind of witty, clever, like Kurt's way, So I don't know. That's my feedback, because I know that Jake's obviously listening to me. Yeah. I don't know. That's where I'm at. That's where I am.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, he is funny at times, Jake, and like it's his things when he's doing his push-ups and his Colin McGregor walks and stuff, and it's funny. It's great. Yeah. We need that in MotoGP, 100%. We do. But absolutely, I guess there's a way. Like, I don't know the last rider on top of my head who's gone on win races and then gone and slated everybody. Like Pedro Costa has that little side to him, like. When it was, Portimao 2021, and he's going around the track with like waving at Foggia and stuff like that. Like, it's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just kind of, like you say, just getting in people's heads a little bit.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to keep going on about Jake.
No, Acosta will 100% have a reply to that this weekend, I'm sure.
Like in the form of a race win, or at least a
and then he'll go, guess what? But
he'll ride around with like 93 on his bike or something. I don't know.
They'll put like a 96 on his bike and go, oh. Yeah, we'll see. Oh yeah, like a 93. I get that. Yeah.
Oh, you get it. Cool, nice.
Yeah, but finally clicked. Penny dropped. But on to the MotoGP sprint race first. Aleix Espargaro. What a beast.
Dished it out. I mean,
superstar. The fact that firstly, Vinales had a very good start, for one.
Yes.
But then, and I was like, this is Pecco's. Pecco's gone away with it. Great, sick. I was like, great. Prediction this time? Great. That's an extra 10 points for me. I love that.
Yeah, and me.
I was the only one that had Bagnaia down. I was like, for the sprint race.
I thought I had him for the sprint win.
I was like, boom, right, here we go. Championship lead, here we go. And then Alecia's like, haha, nope.
Oh, yeah, because I had Vinales, didn't I, for the sprint win?
Yes. I think. No, you had Martin. You had Vinales pole.
Why the hell did I have that? Anyway. Yeah. Oh, dear. I mean, great. Love an Aleix win. Love a home Aleix win. Love an Aleix win against a clearly, like, otherwise dominant Pecco.
Yes.
Trifecta. Thank you very much. I'll have a good Saturday. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Next.
Yeah, like, I don't know, it's just great for LA. It's great to see Vinales doing really well. But then moving on to the main race, the whole, the main course as it is. That crash was horrific. Like, not the first corner crash, and then the Pecco aftermath as well.
Yeah, so nasty T1 crash, horrific T2 incident. Like, God, I mean, like, obviously the person who in the moment has it worst has it the worst is Pecco. But can you imagine being Brad the second after you've just like felt the bones of your fellow rider underneath your bike? Like, come on. I can't imagine like that feeling. Like, God, I hate seeing that. And then TNT just decided to show it maybe 3 or 4 times in slow motion.
That was
like, come on, I do not want to see this.
That was Dorna. They showed it like 10 times, like easily 10 times. And everyone was like, even Gavin Emmett was apologizing for it. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't want to see this. Like, why you... And they showed it, I'm genuinely not even joking, like 10 times.
Too much.
And I wish that was me emphasizing it, but unfortunately that was the case. And it's not really acceptable. No one wants to see that kind of thing. No. Unless you're a bit twisted kind of thing. And yeah, I just didn't like it whatsoever. I don't see why they had to do that or what motivated them. It was just a bit weird.
And it's strange though, because obviously, like, we now know that crash, shall we say, the sort of more disturbing one to see, ended up in the least injury. But they did show like the turn 1 incident like way more, because it was a bit more typical and sort of like, I guess, more to analyze in a way. And we now know that I guess technically that had a worse outcome, because you got, well, at least Enea with like missing some races as a result. Who else was involved?
Bazecchi, I think Marini as well, Alex Marquez, Digia.
Okay, they all raced, so...
Yeah, Bastianini, Bez, Digia, Alex Marquez, and then I think it was... So there was another Ducati, Azarco.
Right, okay. Was it like a full Ducati pileup?
Oh yeah, it was all Ducatis.
And then obviously, out of 5 Ducatis, it's the factory seat number 2 that the person gets injured.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, you got a 20% stake in that crash, and like, you're the only one ending up with with broken things.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? It's like we say, it's quite unlucky, really.
It is.
But yeah, and then obviously Pecco had the crash. I loved though. Brad Binder obviously was the guy who kind of dealt the damage. And as soon as that accident happened, he went straight in. When the accident happened, then they restarted the race. Binder's bike broke down. Binder went straight into the medical centre to see how Pecco was doing. Yeah. And hilariously, he was greeted by Pecco just sat there chilling. He said in the interviews after, he was like, I did not expect to walk into the medical centre, and just see Francesco Bagnaia sat up, chilling, having a chat with somebody, just completely fine.
Just sitting there with like a double espresso, you know?
Yeah, just like chilling. And he did say he did not expect to see that, but it's great to see that Brad did that, because it just shows the kind of guy that Brad is. Yeah, absolutely legend. Like, yeah, he's fantastic. But yeah, that was nuts, that crash. Yeah. And I just want to point out, if you are on Twitter, check out... Yeah, go check... Oh, yeah, X, sorry. Sienna Wades. I don't know if it's pronounced Sienna Wedes, Wedes, at Sienna, Sienna Wedes on Twitter. She's a photographer. She's the girlfriend of Cormac GP, who you might know. Takes a lot of photos for the top people, including Honda and things like that. The photos are available on Cormac's website, but at the top of her feed is the most spectacular photo of the crash I've ever seen, of all of them, really.
It's insane.
You've got Bastianini sat in the gravel, you've got bikes littered everywhere, you've got Zarco, you've got Alex Marquez getting up like, what the hell? You've got a green flag still waving in the background despite that. And then you've got Bagnaia upside down. The bike has flung him off.
6 feet in the air.
Yeah, like the photos of the chaos unfolding with the green flag out as well. Like, absolutely unbelievable photo. Genuinely one of the top 3 photos I've ever seen in MotoGP.
Yeah, like...
And she deserves all the credit in the world for that.
Such a great
Right
photo.
place, right time. So good.
Yep.
You can actually purchase the image from Cormac's website as well for the humble price of €25 if you want to use it for your personal use as well. So
cheap.
Yeah, I would say go and purchase it, honestly, because she deserves it, to be honest.
Yep.
But yeah, unbelievable shot. I just wanted to point that out. But
crazy scenes.
Yeah, it was carnage racing. Anyway, on the restarts, it was, of course, Aleix and Vinales. Well, it was Vinales and Aleix, shall we say, with Aleix clearing... No, Vinales, sorry, clearing off. I thought he was going to win the race.
I know, yeah.
I was like, it's going to finally happen.
I thought we were seeing, Pecco / Lorenzo / Marc Marquez, once they're in the groove and they got their markers and they got clean air in front of them, like there's no catching them. I thought that's what we were seeing. But
yeah,
Espargaro again dug deep and made the pass happen. Shall we say forced the pass?
Yeah, he punted him off track.
Yeah, he did kind of push it a little bit. However, I would say that like Vinales probably could have been a little bit more willing to give space, shall we say. I mean, he basically just leaned into him. But yeah, it was a hard pass. It was the kind of pass that would have Jorge Martin shaking his head and tutting. I'm sure.
Yeah, it would.
But yeah, like, great race though. But then, so at the end of the sprint race, didn't Vinales say he like ran a different front rim to Espargaro, which meant like the heat wasn't dissipating and his tire the same, which kind of resulted in him having less grip towards the end. Yes. But then in Sunday's race, he ran the same wheel and apparently had the same issue, it seems. Yeah, because it was quite a hot weekend now in Catalunya and a long race. A lot of the riders, like Jake Dixon, I don't know if you spotted, he was running a white wheel as well. Yeah. With made out of special. Yeah, it looked cool. Which is again made out of the same thing that dissipates heat a little bit better. You've seen it World Superbike quite a lot with Ducati. They use it quite a lot. And yeah, I guess he was just trying it to see how it would work because Aprilia have been on fire all weekend. We had Oliveira running third for a lot of the race as well. Yeah. And I guess it's good for Aprilia, for Vinales to try that and compare it to Aleix. They have the similar, if not same bike. So it's good if he was to run a different one to Aleix in those conditions just to compare data and just see how it goes. And it's probably why Vinales finished second, because obviously he ran wide, his tyres went off. They were running, I think it was 6 seconds slower a lap by the end of it. 6 seconds slower than their qualifying time. That is... The attrition involved there in those tires is nuts. Yeah, like they were going so much slower by the end of it, but it's really good data for Aprilia. Absolutely. And yep. The fact that on their celebration they swap bikes as well to be like cool. They're exactly the same. It doesn't matter, which is really good. It's their first ever Premier Class 1-2 ever, and not far away from a 1-2-3 either. Yeah, that would have been superb. Yep. Oliveira deserves a podium after his horrendous year so far. He deserves a win, consecutive wins after the luck he's had. But do you think Oliveira will get a win? I think there's just too much. I think he'll get a podium, but I think there's too much. There's too much firepower on the grid, and I think he'll always have one of the factory Aprilias in front of him. So yeah, I think if he can get a bit of luck, I think so, because he's still really adapted to that Aprilia. The Aprilia in the hands of Vinales and Aleix is really good. It's not massively different to to Oliveira, who's on last year's bike. But there is a significant enough difference, especially now that Aprilia have had new updates and things like that. We've seen since Silverstone, they've come on board a lot better and been a lot stronger. And obviously those updates haven't really trickled down to Oliveira yet because he's riding last year's bike. So I think maybe when he gets some more updates, potentially they could do what Ducati do next year, maybe supply him with a current bike that's the same as the factory boys are running. I think then maybe we'd see probably a more competitive Oliveira
and Oliveira who can kind of run at the front, because it was clear that it was at a bit of a disadvantage to the Ducatis or on the GP23s, and a little bit of a disadvantage to the, obviously, factory Aprilias as well. But I think if he was on maybe the same equipment, I think he probably could have done a lot better in that race.
I think so. Yeah, probably. I think we would have seen a podium lockout.
Yeah, and you made a good point the other day about the fact that Aprilia have benefited quite a lot from having a satellite squad.
Yeah, well, that's it. You know, you got four bikes on the grids. It's more data, isn't it? So
yeah, that's it. In same conditions, at the end of the day, more bikes equals more firepower and better results, because you have more data to spread across. It's why Ducati, it kind of pretty much accelerates your process of development, because you can have 4 different riders testing completely different things.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Like we were discussing last week before, like the whole thing of MotoGP now with the wings and electronics and yada yada, it's all data driven.
Yeah.
So if you can have a program where you've got 8 bikes on the grid, that's twice as much data essentially as any other team. Do you know what I mean?
And 4 times the amount of the Yamaha are getting.
Yeah, that's it. And it, like you say, it just that drives the insights, and it's loose maths obviously, but it's like your bike gets developed 4 times faster than a team with 2 bikes on the grid, essentially. So Yamaha need to sort that out. I don't know what Honda's excuse is, but
then it just seems to be the Japanese bikes, isn't it? Like they were last in. All 6 of them were last in a lot of the sessions this weekend.
Bottom 6, which is sad considering the talent that's on those bikes. I mean, it's got to be the bikes. It can't be anything else. You can't have Marc Marquez, Fabio Quartararo, and Joan Mir on those bikes, and none of them are doing well. Like, it's got to be the bikes.
Marc dropped so far back as well. Like
he did.
He really did struggle, and like you look at the sprint race, and the bottom, we take out Pole because he had a crash. So in the sprint, bottom 5 were Mir, Lecona, not in the correct order. Mir, we'll go in the correct order. Mir, then Nakagami, then Lecona, then Quartararo up in 18th. Then you had 2 KTMs, and then you had Franco Morbidelli in 15th. So out of the back 6. back 7 places. It's quite difficult. Back 7 places, 5 of them were Japanese bikes, with Marquez up in 11th.
Yeah, because he's
Marquez, of course,
working absolute miracles on that thing. Because he's an alien. Like but still, it's not even good enough for top 10. You know.
Exactly. He's still half a second behind Alex Marquez on the Ducati, who's working nowhere near as hard.
Exactly. That's it. I mean, and going off the same thing, like Quartararo finishing 7th in the main race.
In the main race,
is ridiculous.
Yeah, he loves this track though. I think that definitely played a part in it.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's what I mean though. Like the fact that he finished ahead of 3 Ducatis. 3 Ducatis, 2 KTMs. You know, like.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Exactly.
And then
ahead of them in Marco Bezecchi, that whole VR46 squad struggled. To be fair,
they did. Were they on second bike though?
Potentially, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. I didn't think about. They have struggled kind of all weekend though.
They did.
It has been like a big struggle for them. Bezecchi did get at Q2, but Marini was down like 18th in qualifying.
Yeah,
he qualified in 18th place. Bezecchi qualified in 7th. No, Bezecchi qualified in 10th. So they both were struggling quite a lot, to be fair, but still.
Yeah. It's a sad state of affairs. And to be honest, like, how... we're talking about all these, like, rule changes coming in 2027. Like, how much are Honda and Yamaha just kind of like, do you know what? 3 years really isn't a long time. Like, let's just start putting our eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
And because it will take them with current regs. It will take them more. It would take them what am I trying to say? It would take them until longer than 2027 to catch up with Ducati's development.
Yes.
Is what I'm trying to say.
100%. Yeah.
So how much are they kind of like, do you know what? Let's just start thinking about what this 2027 bike's going to look like. I mean, I'm sure they already are. They can't just start the year before. Yeah. Might they go the V4 route since it's a different capacity? Yamaha speaking anyway. Yamaha
potentially. I don't really know. For Honda, yeah, I could see it because Honda run a V4 in World Superbike. Honda historically have been very successful with the V4 configuration.
Yeah.
Honda.
Is that a V4 at the moment?
Yeah, I was going to say that Honda V4 at the moment. I'm tired, sorry.
V5, now we're talking.
But yeah, Yamaha might have to bite the bullet and run a V4 like everybody else.
I think go
the Ducati route and everybody else route of just copying Ducati, basically.
Yeah, take the opportunity of almost a complete refresh of the rules, like new bike from the ground up for everyone, and say, that's it, we're going for it. Because, you know, Yamaha have done V4s and have done them well. Yeah. There's no reason why they can't come into this reg change with a V4. I would love it if for some reason we ended up with an inline 4 Ducati, but we're not gonna.
I'd love that. It would be great.
It would be amazing, and they would still beat everyone because they just decide to make the rules. But yeah, I think they should do that. I'd love to see are they going for 800cc? Do we know yet?
I think it's 850. It should be. It's not confirmed or anything like that, but yeah. Probably 850 it seems, but I guess we'll see.
You've near enough got a Triumph bloody
it's
three cylinder then, haven't you?
Yeah. From the neck, but I guess we'll see. For the most part, yeah. That was only, that was Vinales' second podium of the year, which seems mental to me.
Does seem mental, but he's just lacked a little bit of something mentally, and it all just came together this weekend.
Yeah. If he can continue that in Misano, which I think he will.
Yeah, I think so.
Finally see that win.
Yeah, I can't see the Aprilia's doing amazingly at Misano, but
I think Italian riders on Ducatis will have home advantage of it being Italian. You know, you look at the Ducati riders, you've got Bagnaia, you've got not yet anyway, you've got two VR46 riders.
Yeah.
All use Misano as a testing and training ground.
Yeah.
And they're on Ducatis, which Pirro spins around twice a month, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Pirro knows that track. Yeah. They've got so much data. They probably do use that track a bit as well, but nowhere near as much as Ducati.
No.
So, yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting one. I think it's Ducati's to lose, I think, Misano.
Yeah. It's got to be a Ducati, probably with an Italian on it.
Yeah,
lockout.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
But we shall see. Yes. Right, let's do our predictions because it's getting quite late and I'm getting quite tired now.
Cool. I'm on holiday, mate. I'm up till dawn.
Oh, yeah, you don't care, do you?
I don't care. Wait, before we do predictions.
Yes. Well, we're going to go through Catalan predictions first.
Yep.
And then we will move on to Misano. So, going into Catalunya, Cameron, you led the standings at 162 points. Myself in second with 152, and Lauren with 93 in third.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. So, actual Moto3 pole position was Ivan Otola.
Yeah.
I went with Sasaki, Cameron Via, Lauren Mazia. I think Via was second in qualifying, wasn't he?
He was.
Was he?
I think.
There you go. And then he got injured.
Yeah.
I'm not sure actually where Via was, but I know he was quite high in some of the sessions. He was second in one session. In the race, it was Alonso, Masia, Rueda third. I went for Holgado, Onshu, Masia. Quite annoyed that Onshu lost that place. Yeah, it's annoying.
So you get a point?
Cameron, I get a point, yeah. Cameron went for Holgado, Masia, Otola. So you get 5 points for Masia in second.
Oh, thank goodness. Right.
And Lauren went for Holgado on Masia as well, so she gets a point. So the points following that are you in the lead with 167, myself in second with 153, and Lauren with 94. Heading to Moto2, it was Dixon on pole. I went for Costa, so did you, Cameron, and Lauren went for Dixon.
No way. Good job.
She gets a
Good
point.
job, Lauren. Yeah.
Oh yeah. On the podium, it was Dixon, then Kenneth, then Arenas. He gets his first ever Moto2 podium. I was very actually impressed with Arenas.
Yep. Yeah.
Finally has come. He did really well that race. He came from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I went for Acosta, Canet second, Dixon third. I get 6 points for Canet correct with 5 points, and then Dixon on the podium with 1 point. You went for Acosta, Aldeguer, Vietti, so you get 0.
0. Why did I pick Vietti?
I don't, because he'd won the last race in Austria, probably. Yeah. And then Lauren went Dixon, Vietti, Albolino, so she gets 10 points.
Nice.
So she cranked out 11 points there.
Nicely done.
The standings are now you with 167, myself with 159, and Lauren with 105, so she breaks 100 club.
Hey.
Well done,
Only took
Lauren.
half a season.
Yeah, legit. Right, pole MotoGP was Bagnaia. Me and Lauren went for Bagnaia. You went for Vinales, so we get a point each. In the sprint race, it was Espargaro. I went Bagnaia, you Martin, and Lauren Bezecchi, 0 points. In the main race, I went for Bagnaia, then Martin, then Zarco. And it was Espargaro, Vinales, and Martin, so I get a point. You went for Bagnaia, Bezecchi, Espargaro, you get a point. And Lauren went Bagnaia, Espargaro, Quartararo, so she gets a point.
Ooh.
So the final standings leaving Catalunya are yourself in the lead with 168. Me not so far behind anymore with 161. And Lauren with 107. So that lead, it does close down a tiny bit every single week. It was, what was it, 50 points, then 12, then 10. Now it's 7 points.
I'm honestly shocked that it's taking you this long to.
Yeah, I don't know why it's taking so long.
Even get. I don't know.
It's like teasing me. It's
happening.
like, come on. It's like Bagnaia. Like if it won one of those races, maybe the sprint race. But it's like teasing me.
But then I had him as well, so I had him for wins as well. So
yeah,
I don't know.
But like it's just teasing me. It's like, no, you can't have it yet. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. And I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. We're gonna end up with a 2015 Valencia situation here.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Right, so we're going Moto3 pole, and we'll start with you, Cameron.
Oh, I wasn't ready. Moto3 pole. Where are we? Misano. Okay.
Yeah.
Thinking. Moto3 pole. Who works well around there? Let's go with. Oh, jeez. I might go boring and just go Masia.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay. I'll go with Sasaki. And Lauren
was
with
thinking
Onshu.
Sasaki, but. Oh, I forgot Onshu.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Fair, yeah.
Nice. Right. So third place, who are you going for in the race?
Alonso.
He has been on fire, to be fair. Lauren also went with Alonso.
Fire. Oh, really?
I'm going to go with Onshu.
Okay.
Right, who are you going for second?
I will have Onshu for second, please.
Okay. Lauren's gone Masia. I'm going to match her with Masia.
Okay.
Right, who are you going for the win?
I think Masia for the win.
Okay. He was second last year, so...
Different bike.
Right, yeah, that's true. Lauren's gone Otola. I've gone Holgado.
Solid. Any of us, like all three of us, could get 25 points from those predictions. You know, we just.
Oh yeah.
It's just an absolute roll of the dice with Moto3.
Yeah, 100% it is. Right, we're gonna start with Lauren for this one. She's gone with Lopez for Moto2 pole.
Interesting.
We'll go to me with Acosta, and you, Cameron.
Well, I'll go someone different then. For pole. Let's have. I'm gonna put my faith back in him. I'm gonna say Vietti.
Nice. Okay. Throwing points down the road, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only pole. It's only a pole.
Yeah, why not? Lauren's gone with Canet second.
Whoa, hold on.
For third place, third place, sorry.
Whoa, okay, yeah.
Whoa. I'm going to go with Arenas.
For third?
Yeah, for third. Who are you going to go for third?
Third, I'll have Agura, please.
Nice, okay. Right, second, Lauren's gone Dixon. I've gone with Canet because he's very good at finishing second. And you're going to go with...
I'm going to go with... Yeah, I think I'll go Dixon for second as well.
Okay. He didn't finish the race last year, you know. I'm looking at it. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 DNFs at Misano last year. I can't even remember what happened.
Was it just like... I think it was just really hot, wasn't it? Like everyone was
and everyone's just stacking it. Yeah.
Like the front tire was just chewing gum for everyone. I think.
Lauren's gone with a very risky one with Arbolino to win.
Interesting. Home track,
I've gone with
off form. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone with a Costa, so no Dixon on the podium. I think Costa's going to snap back to reality.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just for entertainment's sake, I'm also saying a Costa, and I think it's going to be like a, because I've got Dixon as second. I think that's just going to be like
I want to see them scrap it out now.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I think we're going to have a nice scrap that ultimately Acosta is going to show his class. And just that extra little flair that he's got. Yeah. But, hey, we'll see.
We will see indeed. Right, we'll start from me for MotoGP pole. I'm going to go with Bagnaia because it's his home. It's annoying because Enea Bastianini and Bagnaia had a great battle last year at Misano.
Yeah.
Would be nice to see that again.
Yeah. For pole, that's if you're coming to me, that is.
Yeah.
For pole... Yeah, Italian on a Ducati, but which one?
Yeah.
Well, again, like just to keep this interesting, then I won't go with Bagnaia for pole. I'll have Bez then.
You're gonna go with Bez?
Yeah, I'll go Bez pole.
Okay. And Lauren's gone with Vinales.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to know her thinking.
Yeah, me too. Sprint winner, I've gone with Bagnaia.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Bagnaia also.
Enough.
Yeah.
Lauren's sticking on trend. Alicia Spargaro, the sprint win.
Fair. I just don't think it's an Aprilia track, unfortunately.
Well, as you say that, but Vinales was third last year.
True. Well, he'll pick the wrong tire or something. Something won't be completely 100%.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Second place. No, third place.
Me?
I'm going to go Bezecchi.
Okay.
Who are you going to go for?
Tempted to say the same, but no, let's not do that. That's boring. I'll go with Marini then.
Okay. I was thinking Marini, to be fair, because he was fourth last year, which was his best result in the class at the time. Lauren's gone with Aleix third.
Interesting.
Right, second place, I've gone with Aleix.
Right.
Who are you going to go with?
Well, I'll have Bez second, please.
Okay. And Lauren has gone Marini.
Okay.
For the win, I'm going to go with Bagnaia.
Me too, yep.
Great. Okay.
I'm just having that Italian on a Ducati lockout. So. Choose the order.
Yeah. Well, it's funny actually, because for Catalunya, I went Ducati 1, 2, 3, and it was nearly an Aprilia 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
That is funny. Lauren's gone with Vinales.
I'd love to see it, and I wouldn't be mad.
No,
but
that would be sick.
Yep.
No. But yeah, I think that's all we've got time for.
I think that's it. Is there anything else? There's actually a good chance I'm going to miss the racing this weekend just with traveling and stuff. But I'll see if I can catch up on the move. Yeah, I'm probably going to be busy, unfortunately. Unless there's like pubs in London or something, I can go watch it. But I don't know. I don't know. My wife would be very happy about that. So.
No, I'm sure she'll love that. Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Anyway, I'm good. You good? I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm tired. That's why I am.
Yeah, fair. I got to take the dogs out now.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's quite fun.
Whilst you're hammered.
I know. I'm not hammered.
That's all right.
Really hot though, so I actually need to.
It's roasting. I've had the fan on the whole time.
Yeah.
I have a fan blasting. I've got my Chili's bottle with ice in it at the moment.
Oh, chili.
As well, it's keeping me cool. Yeah, I've been
I got
sipping
whiskey
that.
Hot.
Nice.
Quality. All right.
That's all we've got time for anyway.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.